I used to order food delivery all the time. Living alone made it easier. One click and dinner would show up at my door. I never really thought about who brought it or how easily anyone could pretend to be that person. That changed one Friday night. It was late, the kind of quiet evening when the whole neighborhood feels asleep. I had just finished a long shift and didn't feel like cooking, so I opened my usual food app and ordered sushi and a milkshake. The driver's name appeared on the screen, Dave, estimated arrival, 15 minutes. When the notification came that the order had arrived, I got a call from the driver. He said he was outside but couldn't find my building and asked if I could come out and help him. It sounded normal enough, so I went downstairs. There was a man standing by the curb holding a brown paper delivery bag. The streetlight behind him threw his face into shadow. He smiled when he saw me, but there was something strange about the way he looked at me. Too long, too focused. The kind of stare that makes your stomach tighten before your brain even knows why. I thanked him, took the food, and turned back toward the building. Even as I closed the door, I could still feel his eyes on me. For some reason, I locked the door twice that night. Inside, I set the bag down and checked the delivery details out of habit. That's when I noticed something that didn't make sense. The app no longer said Dave. The completed delivery showed a different name entirely. I told myself the company probably reassigned the order. Maybe Dave's shift ended early, but the uneasy feeling wouldn't go away. About 20 minutes later, just as I started to relax on the couch, someone knocked on my door. 3 slow knocks. I froze. I hadn't ordered anything else. I waited, expecting a second knock or a voice. Nothing. Just the quiet hum of my refrigerator. Then I heard faint footsteps moving outside my window. Slow, deliberate steps on gravel. I pulled the curtain back just enough to see the street. A white van was parked across from my building with its headlights off. I could just make out the outline of a man standing next to it, facing my direction. My hands were shaking as I opened the delivery app and called customer support. The representative on the line sounded confused when I explained what had happened. She told me the order had been completed 20 minutes earlier by their assigned driver, Dave. I explained again that the person who brought my food wasn't him. There was a long silence on the other end of the line. Finally, she said the man I described didn't work for them anymore. He'd been fired weeks earlier for showing up at a customer's home after his shift. She told me to call the police immediately. By the time officers arrived, the van was gone. They walked around the building and checked the area, but there was no sign of him. A neighbor from across the street mentioned having a doorbell camera. They reviewed the footage while the police were still there. What it showed made my stomach drop. The same man stood outside my front door for almost 5 minutes. He never knocked again. He just stood there motionless, facing the door. When the flashing lights from the police car appeared at the end of the street, he finally turned and walked away. They traced the license plate from the video. It matched the man's name, the same one listed on my fake delivery receipt. When they found the van later that night, it was parked and empty several miles away. No one ever found him. I changed my locks the next morning and stopped ordering delivery for a while. Even now, months later, I can't relax when someone knocks unexpectedly. When I do order food, I always meet the driver outside in plain view with my phone recording the whole time, because that night taught me something I'll never forget. The scariest people aren't the ones who break into your home. They're the ones who smile at your door like they belong there.